straight over to our panel. If you've got any questions, throw them out.
You mentioned that you'd spent the last year and a half working out what actions you wanted to take.
Mm-hmm.
What actions do you want to take?
We have 3 objectives. The first one is to increase the food literacy levels of young Australians. So food literacy, like other literacy, it's about skills and knowledge around food. We understand that everyone has a relationship with food. We're just really asking you to deepen it and get to know food a little bit better. The other objective is to create a movement. And the final objective is to increase young Australians' voices in political and other conversations around food that are happening at the moment.
So just to clarify, those are all awesome, but those are outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
What are the actions that you will take that will produce those outcomes?
We hold events, both internal and external events. So internal events, we partnered with The Source for Passata Day. We go and do farm stays and things like this. Our external events, we've put a ride-on lunch, which is coming up in October. This will be our 3rd year that we've done that, where you cycle around the city and you savour food, but you experience things along the way. So it's not just about eating, it's food for your mind as well as your stomach. And we had our inaugural Real Food Nights, which is a movie night powered by Bicycle, and got people thinking about the topic of who's going to be producing our food in the next 5, 10, 15 years, because the average age of the Australian farmer is about 60. And then our other event was it's just gone off the top of my head, but they're all fabulous.
Who are your competitors in this space? I'd imagine this is an area that's getting a lot more attention, and people here seem to understand what you were talking about. So who are your competitors? Are you overlapping with what's already out there? What have you thought about?
As part of, we did a big brainstorming in December of last year and really mapped the advocacy food action landscape in Sydney at the moment. There's a few other people like AYCC. They're not overly focused on food, but there's some crossover with climate change and the contribution of the agricultural industry to climate change. There's other food advocacy organisations like the Sydney Food Fairness Alliance, AFSA, which is the Australian Food Sovereignty Alliance. They're very political and they pull in a much older age audience than the youth food movement does. That being said, we haven't had any problem with getting interest and getting people to partner. We're really about sharing what we've got and collaborating with other people and not reinventing the wheel and not trying to do what other people are doing. So.
Well, and can I ask if you've designed or developed your brand yet and brand strategy?
Yep, the youth food movement is actually a part of a global movement which is aligned with the slow food movement in Italy. The logo is a little snail. It's all about moving slow. And so we have discussed changing that, but at the moment we're going to stay with what it is. We launched our website at the beginning of the year, and we're pretty firm on where it's at the moment.
And where do you expect to be in 3 months if you received the Space Scholarship?
In 3 months, I'd love a solid strategy around establishing groups elsewhere. I'd love maybe some kind of startup pack to take elsewhere, or a way to communicate with people who aren't physically with you. And just more noise around what we're doing.
Anything else? Good? No. Well, thanks a lot, Alexandra.